Happy Wednesday, everyone, and welcome to the Libra Lounge with Keisha podcast. I have in the studio with me because I don't feel worthy enough to say a co-host.
Where am I looking? Oh, there's the camera. Okay. I'm not used to looking at a camera.
See, this is how radio people act.
I mean, you know what? I'm not even gonna look at the camera the whole time. You
don't look at
me.
Me.
I'm just gonna. Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
But we're look at him.
Okay.
That's weird. You're gonna stare at me for an hour. I mean, most men do.
Now I am.
Most men do, and I don't blame them. But this is Houston radio royalty right here, the Adam Smasher, or as James calls him, Greg. Whenever he refers to you as Greg, I have a fit.
A lot of people don't know that's my birth name.
They think your government name is Adam?
Well, a lot of people do. But I answer to both, so it's really crazy.
I can't call you Greg.
That's fine.
It's like when you find out your teacher's name and you're like, I thought her real name was Mrs. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So Adam's been a mentor. I've listened to him on the radio. I've been in strikes before. Started ducking because I just heard his voice, loud. I'm like, is Adam back there on that little microphone that's supposed to go out to the people pumping gas? But if you're in this area, you've heard this voice. You may not have seen his face, but I remember when you had long hair.
Well, that's been a while.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was still
I don't
104.
I don't miss hair though.
You know?
No. And I know you, being the sassy, beautiful black woman that you are, hair is everything. You got all kinds of. Me? Nope. I wash my head with soap. I don't even use shampoo.
So you use Irish Spring soap on your head?
It's awesome.
But it still looks moisturized. It doesn't look dried out or anything like that.
I use moisturizer.
You moisturize your...
Oh, yeah.
Is that what y'all do to y'all's balls when y'all shave y'all's balls too?
Right after I do, yeah. But after that, no, it's just whatever.
I feel like I know too much.
And I don't do that unless I have a date, so.
Right on. All right, so it is show announcements, producer James, who's over there drinking whiskey along with Adam.
I brought some Irish whiskey.
And I guess my ass ain't Irish. I ain't gonna have any. Mm-hmm. Any show updates? I don't think so.
Not really, but look out in the next month or two. We're gonna do a live call-in event.
No, we're not.
Here we are.
See how he shows out? We have not talked about that. There's been no discussion, no meeting, and he's talking about things that he can do it by himself.
This is what
but ain't nobody gonna listen to it because it's not me. All right, so I'm gonna give a chemo update. All right, so last week went in for round number what? 3, 4?
3.
3. And it was like a snore fest there. There was literally a competition. There was a woman who would sleep like this. How do you sleep like that in a chair? There was an old black man.
Old Negro spiritual?
Then there was a person next to me. Yes, I referred to him. I was like, that goddamn old Negro spiritual. He started the snore. I'm like, see? And the white women just followed. Then there was a woman next to me. Her curtains was up. Now that bitch won because she went in hard with her snoring. I'm like, what did y'all give them? Because I'm up sweating and jittery, and I don't understand what's going on. It was like a competition. Then there was this young guy who came in, little shit kicker looking dude with his boots, and he's sitting down and he's talking, and I gab. I was like, so what do you have? Why are you here? He's like, oh, I'm here for chemo. Well, welcome to the fucking chemo clinic. We're all in here for chemo. I was like, but no, what do you have? He's like, I don't even know. How do you not?
Wait, hold on. I'm out of the loop. What do you have?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't even. You're talking about chemo. I'm like, did I miss something?
I have COVID.
No, really.
Oh no.
What do you get?
So my lupus has been attacking my bone marrow.
Oh.
Which, my white blood cell count right now is 0.75, which is almost 0.
Okay.
So, and you kind of need your bone marrow to live and shit.
Yeah.
So, they are attacking the lupus with the chemo.
Oh.
Yes, that first round was rough. They gave me triple what they give cancer patients. You know what? When I die, James, I want that on my tombstone. I think people need to know that about me. That bitch was bad. I hate you so much right now.
I'm just trying to figure out how to write that. Here lies Keisha. She took a shitload of chemo, and it didn't work.
And still looked good.
I mean, because I knew about the lupus, okay, but when you said chemo, I automatically.
Everyone thinks cancer,
Do you have cancer?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Well, shit. That's probably next. I got everything else.
God.
I don't think we can take that, but yeah, I thought it was dying the whole month of December.
Not to take the show in a dark turn, but cancer runs rampant in my family, so it literally is a matter of just time.
And that's what I always told him. I said, look, breast cancer takes just about everybody out in my family. So you sure you still want to marry me, or you want to go marry another black girl who doesn't have cancer running stronger in her family? But he stayed with me.
You get it, you catch it early though. You're all good. My mom is a breast cancer survivor. So,
what's your mom's name?
Anita.
Hi, Anita. Hey. Yeah, it runs really bad in my family. So I mean, I'm glad it's not that, but then again, I just wish it kind of sucked. Yeah. You know what I mean? So anyway. If you are a friend of the Libra Lounge, you know what time it is. It is time for the gab.
We know she has a really big mouth, which sounds kind of dirty, and that's probably true too. Let's gossip. The gab with Keisha.
All right. So, have you heard about Marilyn Manson?
Okay. So, confession, I haven't really been doing. I haven't done an actual radio show. It's probably been like 3 years. That's
really?
That's how long it's been. I've dabbled and done a little podcast here and there or whatever. But it's great because I don't have to keep up with all this crap. But I did hear about that.
Yeah.
I read it somewhere. I think yesterday, actually.
You know. For those of you who haven't seen it on TMZ and everywhere else, Evan Rachel Wood, is it Wood or Woods? Wood. Who started off when she was a child actress and she started dating Marilyn when she was 19 and he was like 38. That's just nasty right there. But now, all these years later, she's coming out saying that she was horribly abused by Marilyn. She had to basically bow down to him, and she's just traumatized. Bitch, you were dating Marilyn Manson. What did she think was gonna happen?
You know, this is hard because I just watched. If you guys haven't watched it, by the way, watch the morning show on Apple TV with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, and Steve Carell plays. Like, it's basically a whole thing. It's their reenactment of the Matt Lauer situation, right?
Oh,
yeah. Steve Carell, who's usually funny, he plays the Matt Lauer creep. Okay, so the whole thing, it's still the Me Too and all this, and it's. I'm always on the fence with this because I agree with you. Like, I bet you Marilyn Manson is obviously into some freaky shit in the bedroom. And she probably knew that going in. I'm not saying she's...
Probably why she liked him.
I'm not saying she's lying.
Right.
But also, what I don't like that when something like this comes out, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
People automatically think guilty until you prove innocent. And that's not right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
He's already been let go by his record company and his talent agency. They all released statements today saying that they are no longer associated with Marilyn.
What do you think about that?
Like what you just said. Like, how do you know? This could just be a rumor.
Right.
She could have went over there for a little bit of dick one night. He had another bitch at his house and she's pissed off.
He probably always had another girl there.
I think so too. And then it's like Marilyn Manson. Look, Marilyn Manson is one of two things. Either he's Marilyn Manson by day, and then at nighttime he sleeps with puppies and he has a garden. That's one. Or he's Marilyn Manson and he's one of the fucking devil's rejects. I don't think there's any in between.
I think Marilyn Manson is an extension of Brian Warner's personality.
Right. I agree.
Because I know that because I lived that. Because Adam is an extension of Greg, and I never make shit up or lie, but I kind of amp things up.
Yeah, you had to.
But but he.
But why do you have to go public with this right now? That's my thing. I don't know if she's trying to go after money, if she's got a new show about to come on or whatever.
Well, I can tell you this, the record company and all that, that's bullshit, and here's why. Because if it is true and he did some, they are aware.
Of course they
and
are.
they're only pulling their support because he got caught.
Yes,
they're
I
creeps.
agree. Yes, they will give you the cocaine
Right.
in a candy dish.
But
and
don't
say,
get
"Here
caught."
you go. Don't get caught. If you get caught, I don't know nothing. So this kind of is on the tail end of what happened with Shia LaBeouf about 2 months ago.
I love Shia LaBeouf. He's so crazy.
I love his crazy ass.
And you know what the thing? He admits he's crazy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Own
you know.
it.
So FKA Twigs, which I don't know if a lot of people are familiar with her. I love her music. But she came out and said that she was sexually abused, emotionally abused by Shia LaBeouf. And I'm like, then bitch, why didn't you leave? You know what I mean? A lot of women, when they're in an abusive relationship, they're kind of stuck financially or things like that. But these women, they have money. So it's like, something made you stay.
There's all kinds of psychological shit going on there. I've actually, I'm sure we can talk about later whenever, you're like, what are you up to, Adam? I'm very interested in psychology, and I think I'm gonna get my psychology degree, because there is, with those women, there's something going on in there that made them stay. I don't think they choose to stay.
But it's something in them.
Right.
Either they think they can fix him, or I don't know about that, because I beat men. Men don't beat me, right, Producer James?
Very true.
Right.
I'm like,
you're a strong personality.
I'm like, who are you talking to again, Producer James? Please don't make me kick your ass on air.
We know who's got the bigger dick in that relationship.
And it's black. So, yeah, I feel bad for Marilyn. I really do. And he is denying all of these allegations. So I guess we'll see what happens. Probably going to be some behind the scenes kind of look, let's settle out of court.
Yeah, it's funny. They always deny. I've not heard anybody say, yep, I did all that shit.
No, Shia LaBeouf did. He did. Yeah. He said he did all the things he was accused of.
I think Louis C.K. did, too.
Who?
Louis C.K.?
Did he?
Yeah, but Louis C.K. just jerked off in front of some girls who obviously didn't run away. Because think about it.
Yes.
That's the thing.
That's bullshit.
And Louis does that shit all the time.
I think he got a raw deal. He definitely got a raw deal.
He got a raw deal, for sure. Because, I've been out of comedy for a while, but even when I was in it, we all kind of knew Louis did some weird shit.
Yeah.
And if you're, like, a girl watching a dude jerk off, you can leave at any moment.
Any moment.
But then it's like, if some guy just all of a sudden start jacking off in front of me, I'm going to get my phone and be like, real star, keep it. I want you to shoot a little bit to the left. It's just, it's weird. And again, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around.
But you're also supposed to hashtag believe all women, which is as crazy as saying believe all men or believe all anything.
And I'm a feminist.
I know you are.
But I'm actually sympathizing a little bit with Marilyn on this one. I do, because again, it's like, why now? Why, or what are you trying to achieve?
You think she went into she was young, and young women can be manipulated by older men.
Yes.
But you're thinking, you go into a relationship just looking at him, you're thinking, I know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, he looked like he gonna choke me a little bit.
There's gonna be some freaky shit going on.
Yes, there is. Yeah, he gonna choke me a little bit, and he probably eats street cats for dinner or some shit like that. All right, moving along. So yesterday, which you guys is 2 days, because we film on Tuesdays, but actor Dustin Diamond from Saved by the Bell passed away.
When I did, I was doing some, and I see your notes here. A+. Good job. Always be prepared. That's number one. So I was doing some research, and I didn't know what happened with Dustin Diamond.
Oh, really?
So as soon as I Googled it, I'm like, oh crap, he's dead.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. He's 44. That's how old I am. That's scary shit.
That's crazy. It's very scary. And Luke Perry died, was it last year or the year before?
Oh, he died a long time ago.
It's been a bit.
It's been 2 years. It hasn't been more than 2 years.
Fact check.
I don't think y'all get on my nerves. You're supposed to believe the host. Whatever the host says, it must be true.
Siri, when did Luke Perry die? I don't even type anymore.
Really?
Oh, no, you're right. He died in 2019.
Like I said,
you're good.
The host is always correct.
Should not doubt you.
I know my things. I think you should.
March 4th of 2019.
See? Okay, so, this is our youth. You know what I mean? This is 90210 and Saved by the Bell. You know what? At first, when he died, I said he probably died because he watched that reboot of Saved by the Bell. That shit was pretty fucking awful.
I haven't watched
Don't waste your time at all. I'll just say this. Zach Morris's son's name is Mac Morris.
That's stupid.
That's very stupid.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Dustin Diamond died after a extremely short battle with cancer. I think by the time that they discovered that he had it, it had already just taken over his body. But the number one, I guess the first place where it started was his lungs. So he only had like one round of chemo before he died.
You know, that's why when I said cancer runs rampant in my family, prostate cancer, so you're supposed to get checked, and it's not like up the butt.
Right.
It's just a blood test to check some PSA levels, I think it is, in your blood. And you're supposed to do it, I think they recommend it at like 50, but since there's a history, they recommended me at 40.
Yeah.
So I've been going, you know, and get that done because, you know, that's
You have to.
Yeah.
It's the same with me. You know, usually women don't start getting mammograms till they're 40, but I started when I was, 34? Because it just runs that deep. Dustin, who had his claim to fame was Saved by the Bell. And once that was over, which Screech, for anyone who doesn't know, Screech. After that, he kind of went down a downward spiral, and it just kept going down, down, down. He did a porno. He tried to do stand-up comedy, lots of drugs. And then he wrote a book.
And he stabbed a guy.
And he stabbed the guy. Yeah.
I mean, look, who hasn't stabbed a guy before?
I mean, I've stabbed about 2 of them.
She stabbed a few.
But that's just because I'm black. That's just what we do, right? Have I stabbed you, Producer James?
What's that?
Have I stabbed you before? Or have I threatened to stab you?
Threatened.
Okay,
sure,
I've
many
threatened to stab
times.
him. Weekly. So, you know, he was not part of the reboot. His former co-stars, they basically didn't want to have anything to do with him. I think he never, ever really achieved any greatness outside of Saved by the Bell. I mean, he tried. You even had a story about him, right?
Well, yeah. Our friend Slade Ham, who used to own Comedy Texas, Dustin Diamond came in and did a show when he was trying to do stand-up, and apparently was a fucking asshole, was a joke thief. I think him and Slade almost came to blows. In fact, when he died, Slade got like 50 messages from people saying, "Hey, are you glad he's dead?" Like that level of
Jesus.
Damn,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
I'm not glad he's
dead.
No.
Not that he's dead, but I put a little extra sugar in my coffee.
Yeah, I'm just like, so this is it's just that I don't feel like we're old enough for people that we watched on TV to be dying like
That's
this.
right. So, you know, I immediately read that and I'm like, okay, you know, get out there, live your life, you know, eat, drink, have someone play with your butt, whatever makes you happy.
True.
And do it because you never know.
No, because, I mean, he had to have been sick for a little while. And I think it got to the point where his whole entire body just hurt. And that's when they took him to the ER. And, I mean, it was really too late by then.
It was stage 4 when they
and that was
it,
in
right?
December.
Yeah.
So rest in peace. It was really nice how Mario Lopez and Mark Paul Gosselaar and Amber, what is it? Okay, we can't
Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
She dropped the Amber.
Oh,
so it's
Tiffany
just Tiffany Thiessen.
Yeah.
Yes, the Amber's gone.
Still hot. Oh my gosh.
She's aged well. They all went to social media to, you know, say, none of them, you would think that they worked together for so long, they would have like this big, long statement. It was like, oh, that's really sad. Life's too short. Hashtag RIP. That was it. It was just like.
Yeah, I'm sure something happened there.
A lot. They hated him.
But still, when he died. Come on. He was messed up on drugs, and kids who get into the industry, like they're set up to fail from the get-go with drugs and everything else. So it's amazing that the other ones kind of came out okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a sad situation. He has been getting a lot of fan love on social media. It's just sad. It's just one of those things. It's like, damn.
44 is definitely too young to
die. Yeah, it is.
It's sad because it's cancer. If it was a drug overdose, it wouldn't be as sad for some reason. I mean, given his history, or if he was like stabbed by a fan or something.
I mean, that would still be sad, but that would be quite intriguing and fascinating. Like, oh, did anyone film that? I kind of need to see it. So, okay. This month is Black History Month, and if you listened to last week's episode, I said that I didn't really feel as though We needed a Black History Month anymore.
Really?
But then producer James said some stupid shit about black people. I'm like, never mind. Yes, we do. We need it. We need it.
We do.
I don't even know what he said. It was something just dumb. It was just dumb and inappropriate. It was something that being with a black woman for 13 years, he should have known. And he didn't. I failed. So anyway, I'm going to give you guys some black folk facts for Black History Month. Number one. You know, with the whole Black Lives Matter movement, everyone thinks that a black man's biggest fear is the police. That's not true. Child support is what black men fear more than anything, okay? Black women, everyone sees us as strong, loud, and just resilient.
Especially loud.
But what you may not know is that we would give up our firstborn sons for like a good bundle or two. You know what I mean? Hair bundles? Yeah, I'd give up my child. I'm like, here, take this.
A what?
child. Hair bundles. Hair extensions.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That shit's serious right there.
Yeah, Adam, just so you know, if you ever meet every black woman you meet, it's not her hair. Ever.
No, it's not.
Always
Right.
somebody
Okay,
else's hair,
I got it.
period.
All right, so if you're a teacher, and on the first day of school, you see a little knot-headed black boy walking class, and he's got all those silver caps on his teeth, go ahead and move his desk next to yours and hide your purse, okay? That's a fact. He's going to steal from you, and he's going to hit on the little girls in the classroom, so just be prepared. Go ahead and move little Kaylee all the way to the back so he cannot see her, okay? Another thing. The saggier the man's pants are, the more fertile black women become. We feel like we have to breed with them.
Did not know
Look
that.
how low he's able to walk with those jeans.
Wow.
They're at his ankles. I got to have his baby or two or three. And last but not least, if you ask a black person a question and they do this, the next words out of their mouth is going to be a lie. I'm just letting you know. So when you see them do that, just walk away. Don't wait for the response because the response is in the chin rub. So those are Black History facts from the Libra Lounge. When we come back, I get to interview Adam Smasher. We'll be right back.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. Just want to remind you guys to make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to us on iTunes, TuneIn app, the Laughable app, and iHeartRadio. Is that everything?
It's everything.
And are we still on that Patreon?
Patreon, yes.
What? Every time I say that word, I think about a Pegasus.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know
Patreon?
why.
Is that like OnlyFans? And I only know that because I like to see naked chicks.
You'll be disappointed if you go on Patreon looking
okay.
for that. No, it's where you can go and. But maybe if I did that, like maybe if I showed a little titty, we could get more people on Patreon.
I've been telling you that for years.
Is it like crowdsourcing?
Kind of, sort of.
It's kind of, sort of, yeah. You can pay to get like levels of a podcast. Or you get rewards and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just us trying to get money for doing this shit that we do.
I got you. And things like that.
All right, so Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those women get paid.
Bitches are like paying their mortgages. They're paying their houses off on OnlyFans.
I like how Instagram became like nothing but like chicks barely clothed, but they're clothed, right? Their naughty bits are covered up. And still, I say bullshit on, you can see the whole titty, but if they have something covering the nipples, it's okay.
Yeah.
So Instagram, you know, they were making money, and then some woman was like, I need to take this a step further.
And I'm just mad at that bitch because I didn't think about doing it first because that was a good-ass idea right there.
Yeah.
Every reality TV star is on there. I mean, some people just show their feet. And people pay to see their feet.
I don't get the feet.
I don't get the feet. I would pay someone not to see their feet. Like, I don't want to see that. So, Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
What on God's green earth were you like as a child?
As a kid?
Yeah.
I would probably say shy, insecure. I'm still insecure. But funny. See, I learned that the best way for me to get in girls' pants, the only way was to make them laugh. I didn't have the looks. Okay, some girl.
What did this bitch say?
Recently, no, it was a
okay.
it was a compliment.
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
She said,
I was ready to fight for you.
You're very you look like a cartoon character. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? It's just, no, you have very
there's a variety of cartoon characters and how they look.
Like your features are like I got the big nose and the big head and the but she goes, I find that attractive. So I'm like, okay, well that's good. But,
well, I mean, you do have a kind of a big Jew nose. Are you Jewish?
No, I'm not Jewish.
But I love white boys with big noses.
Yeah.
I always have. It's just like, ooh, look at that nose. He breathes a lot of air.
So I I didn't have that. I wasn't a good athlete. I'm still terrible.
Really?
Oh God. Were
you in band?
No,
You didn't play an instrument here?
No, I played. I mean, I played like basketball, but I mean, I say I played.
You were on the B team and you rode the bench?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. But he was on the team. That's all that really matters.
Right. But I realized that, okay, my superpower is going to be making girls laugh. That's going to lead to sex.
Mm-hmm.
So at a young age, it's all about, okay, I'm on a mission. How can I get sex?
Yeah.
And there's this meme that I love, and it's like, I'm trying to remember exactly what it says, but it's like, funny guys are dangerous because one minute you're laughing, next minute you're naked,
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is true.
So I always tried to I was kind of class clown and kind of, I really got into that. But I mean, I wasn't a bad student. I made good grades, but
It's funny that you said you were shy because I was extremely shy too. And a lot of people that are entertaining and outspoken were shy. I mean, I used to hide behind my mom's skirt. And I mean, I still have bad social anxiety.
Well, most I think Chris Rock, I think he's probably more introverted in person. I heard that he's very, but on stage he's just bam. And that's how kind of I had the outlet of doing a radio show, and I thought, okay, this is cool. Because you're in a studio by yourself or with one other person, and you feel invincible. You can say and do anything.
Yeah.
And no one's looking at you. Now, put me in front of a crowd, I'm nervous as hell because
really?
People were looking at me. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. I totally feel you on that one. It's funny that you said Chris Rock because I was gonna kind of finish your sentence and say, yeah, when Chris Rock's on stage, she's just loud and not funny. I don't think he's funny.
No, really?
Oh, God, no.
Who do you think is funny?
Not him.
Okay, but what can we?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Really? So Chris Rock 2.0, you think he's funny?
I do.
Wow.
I don't think I've never laughed at a Chris Rock joke.
Really? That's interesting.
And I don't think, like, D.L. Hughley's not funny.
I'm not too
But
funny.
she loves Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle's great.
I think he's the best. He's up there with the greats.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that, yeah.
And Bernie Mac. I love Bernie Mac.
Yes. Those are two black guys who made me pee a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell you how or why.
Steve Harvey.
He's a fucking daytime talk show host now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you just lost all of
this is Steve Harvey.
And saying the wrong shit right there. He has the cards in his hand and he still tells America that the wrong bitch is Miss America. So how did you come up with the name, or who came up with the name Adam Smasher?
I was working in New Orleans, and I moved to Houston from New Orleans in like 1998, and I was working at a radio station in New Orleans. And
how old were you?
Like 20 maybe.
Okay.
And I don't even remember what I was going by on the radio when I moved to. So I went from. I grew up in South Louisiana, and I moved to Baton Rouge when I graduated high school, and I went to LSU, I lasted a year, and I was like, I'm dropping out because I got into radio, and I'm like, I don't need a school for this.
Right.
Now, looking back, we'll get into it later. Looking back, I regret it because at 42, I was like, fuck, what am I going to do?
Time to grow up and pick out a career pattern.
Would have been nice to have a backup plan.
Yeah.
So I got into radio in Baton Rouge and worked there for a while. Then I moved to New Orleans, where, and I was using in Baton Rouge, I think I was using my real name, like Greg, and like some kind of, I forget it wasn't my real last name because it's fucking awful.
How do you say your last name?
I'm not going to say.
Oh, you're not?
So they were like, okay, we want to give you a name that people in this market, New Orleans, are familiar with. So they gave me a list of DJs that had worked in New Orleans at some point or time. So kind of like, you know, people would be listening and go, oh, I remember that guy, even though I'm not that guy, right? Name recognition. So Adam Smasher was the only one that was cool on the list. I was this close to becoming Artie the One-Man Party. That's not a fucking joke either.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but
I'm glad you went the other way.
It was Adam, A-D-A-M, like you traditionally spell it. But when I moved to Houston, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, everything I do, I have to make a little bit my own.
Yeah.
So I changed it, and you know, that's how I got Atom Smasher.
And Adam Smasher kind of sounds like a mixed drink.
If
you think about it. Then I was wondering, it's like Adam Smasher, like, was he into like science, like Adam?
I do like science. Okay. But if you Google my Atom Smasher, you'll find a bunch of pictures, images, Google images of like these giant Atom Smasher machines, and then my big goofy head. And it's an awful picture from like 2001.
Oh, don't you hate that shit?
Yeah.
It's like Google. I'm gonna need to approve the pictures that you put on there before you just put the shit on there, because they will find there's one picture on me. I don't even claim. I'm like, that's not me. Nope, I don't know who that is. Nope, I don't know. I'm not that fat. I'm way cuter than that. They just find the worst pictures. All right, so you kind of already told us about how you got into the entertainment field. But I mean, like with most guys, it's for sex. You're like, I want to do this for girls.
I mean, that was definitely a motivator.
Yeah.
But
why radio?
See, what I didn't say is I worked in my hometown, which is very, very small, like 10,000 people at the most. They had a little bitty radio station there, and I knew the station manager. He went to our church, and I don't go to church anymore, by the way, because I'm like, my skin starts to burn, and I'm just.
I burst into flames when I opened the door.
But I had a couple of friends, or a couple of people in my high school that did it like on the weekends. Like they would just hire anybody because it's small town. You're not going to get, you know, pay as shit. And I'm like, that seems pretty cool. I can do that. So I did it. And then I was like, ooh, I like this. But when I went to college, I didn't have any intention of, you know, I just kind of whatever. But then I kind of got reintroduced to it. And I don't know, like I think back to this, there's this one time when I was a kid, and as I said, I was kind of always trying to be the class clown, but my aunt, who's my godmother, she, you know, helped raise me, and we were watching the Arsenio Hall show one night. Right? And I would, when he would be doing his monologue and such, whatever, I would like make comments and crack jokes, and my aunt looked at me, she goes, you're going to do something one day like in entertainment. And I didn't remember that until years later. I'm like, damn, she was right.
She was right. Yeah.
So
I thought you were going to say, you know, I just got into it for pussy and money. But I mean, I like that. Okay. I like that. That's a good story. Your version is better.
Whoa.
It was better.
No one gets into radio for money, okay? Like, no one.
Is it really that bad?
It used to be great. I got into radio a generation too late. The generation before me, those guys were rolling in dough. I mean, just you would be amazed if I told you, like some guys in big cities, major markets like Houston or top 10 markets, they're pulling in 7 figures doing a local morning show, not syndicated, local. Those times came to an end when big corporations and big companies started to buy up radio stations. They're like, we're not paying these guys this much. No way. So no one gets in the radio anymore for the money.
But that's so crazy because, I mean, literally, I can remember driving down 45, taking my daughter to school, listening to you on 104, you and Maria, and some award show was the night before. And you did this imitation of, like, you made up a song about how awful R. Kelly is. And I almost wrecked because I was laughing so fucking hard.
That guy's a train wreck.
Oh, yeah. He's probably getting trains run on him right now.
You're sharp. That's why I like you. I have two favorite sassy black women that you're one of them, and Maria is the other one. Maria, I love to tell the story of how she used to, a lot of people don't know, it's just funny behind the scenes stuff. She used to bring in breakfast in the morning. Now, we get there at
early,
4:30 in the morning. Whatever she had the night before for dinner, that's what she bring in for breakfast. One morning, she pulled out of her bag a big Ziploc bag with half a T-bone steak in it.
I believe it.
That was her breakfast. And I was like,
protein.
Oh my God.
That's how you're supposed to start your day. Look, that was the equivalent of drinking a damn protein shake.
Man, she was, oh God.
That was the start of low carb dieting.
Hilarious.
Right there.
But the fact that she had a half a T-bone in her bag.
That's pretty fucking funny. It's like, are you fixing to feed somebody's dog? Did you bring that for the dog back there or what? All right, so do you think it's easier to get into the entertainment industry now versus when you started out?
No, because I think, well, I mean, no and yes. There's definitely more platforms that you can launch, but so that's easier. A lot of people will ask, for whatever reason, and this is a myth, by the way, radio DJs or personalities or whatever you want to call them, we don't get into that for the music. We can give a shit about the music.
Okay.
Because it's all pre-programmed. We don't get to choose what we play. Now, back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, yeah, we had, they had records.
Yeah.
I'm old enough where I played records, but everything's pre-programmed, so we are in it for the funny stuff, the stupid things, like the R. Kelly thing you mentioned. But I always tell people that, so I would always get, hey, I'm a musician, or I'm, how do I get into the industry? And for musicians, I think things like YouTube and social media, I keep putting stuff out there because you never know who's going to hear it, right?
Justin Bieber.
Right. I mean, a lot of people get, Shawn Mendes got his start, I think, on the Vine. That's not even around anymore.
Nope.
So that's great. But the thing why I say no is because now we're in 2021, it's so oversaturated. There's so much shit out there. Like podcasts, for example. We started, we can talk about later, but we started a new podcast with my former morning show partner, and she decided she made a smart move because it's under the self-help category, because the entertainment category is huge.
Yes.
It's hard to make traction, and there's so many podcasts out there, and most of them are horrible. Complete shit.
Yes.
Some
not this one. Not this one, and not the one he's going to be doing. Not those.
Some kid in his basement can literally do a podcast, and it's so oversaturated that it's hard to get noticed because you're lost in this sea of content that's just
Yep.
So really, it's marketing, who you know, that kind of stuff. So,
do you remember the first time you were on air as Adam Smasher? It was so long ago.
Okay, as Adam Smasher, no. But I was trying to figure out, and I texted an old high school friend of mine, and I only keep in touch with one person from high school.
Lucky you.
Yeah.
It's a girl, huh?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, okay.
We've known each other since 3rd grade. And he was the best man at my wedding, and he lives in Louisiana. So, I mean, we don't get to see a lot of each other, but whenever I go home to visit or whatever, we'll see each other. But I was like, hey, I remember this one time, and this was, me, and if you don't know me, I like to do really stupid things.
But they're funny.
Right.
Yeah.
But stupid funny. So I can't remember the first time I ever opened up the microphone, but I do remember I was in high school, and I was at this, radio station in my hometown, and a friend of ours I don't even know why he wrote it. And I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school, and our friend, his nickname was Bread. I don't even remember why we called him Bread. I'm going to be honest. I can't remember.
Because y'all are from Louisiana.
But he wrote, it might have been for a class or something, I don't know, but it was a Mother's Day. It was around Mother's Day. It was a Mother's Day poem. And I remember one day, and I was just like, I'm going to read that on the air. That's going to be hilarious. Because it is the shittiest poem you've ever... It's... My 9-year-old can write, my 10-year-old can write a better poem than this. And I had to text my friend and go, how did that go? There are 3 lines.
Okay.
There are 3 lines. A poem by Bread. For his mom, I have a great mom. She is patient. She is kind and nice. The end. That's it. That was the poem.
That's what an autistic kid writes the first time you say poem.
And he wasn't autistic. And
oh, damn. He should tell people that he was. Like, he got over it, though. Like, he's not autistic as an adult, but he was as a kid.
It took me probably 5 minutes to read those 3 lines because I couldn't stop laughing. Because it was just funny. And you know...
he tried.
Yeah, he tried.
We love you, Bread.
When we were in college, we changed his nickname to Couch.
God damn.
I can't tell you why either. I don't remember.
How do you go from bread to couch? What, couch bread?
I don't know.
I mean, it should be hyphenated or something like that. Okay. Who has been your favorite co-host?
Definitely the last co-host I worked with, and we're still great friends. She's probably my best friend, Shonda. And we worked together.
Did you hit that?
No, God, no.
Oh, okay. Because she said, he's my best friend.
No. And I always thought it was weird when guys had girl best friends. Like, I think it's weird.
Guys make great best friends.
But here's where you can have it now. And I realized after meeting Shonda, and it's not like, you know, when I met her, I thought she was unattractive or anything. But you don't get that vibe from someone. Yeah. And so we are definitely like brother and sister. Mm-hmm. And we've known each other. I think we met in like 2008. We started to do mornings, and you know, we did it in the Midwest. When we were in Indiana, we moved back to Houston, did it. We did it in Dallas. In fact, I was just there visiting her because she lives in Boise, Idaho now.
Oh,
and,
good.
Yeah.
Why?
That's where.
What do they have there?
Well, when we got fired in Dallas, which. Oh,
He's got a record of being like, well, Adam.
That was like the 5th time or 6th time I got fired. Radio. The thing is,
it's finicky.
One of the reasons I don't do radio anymore is because you have to be willing to move around. It's like when you're a military brat, or you have to be willing to move around. It's also one of the reasons that led to my divorce.
That's tough.
And I have 2 kids now, so when I got divorced, I'm not going to leave my kids, so I'm limited. I'm like, here in Houston, what am I going to do? I've tried to get jobs at radio stations here in Houston with no luck.
Right.
But yeah, so she got a job in Boise, and she moved there, and of course she ended up getting fired because they ended up firing the whole staff. Radio is so unstable and just ridiculous.
But can I ask you a question real quick? What kind of music do they listen to in Boise, Idaho? All I can think about are potatoes.
No, it's
when
the same.
I hear Boise, Idaho. Like,
you would think that, but it's the same as any other city.
They
have a pop station, a rock station, and a country station.
Okay.
But she lives there, and then they've remained there because they like it there, and they live in like the foothills of these mountains. And, like, the shit we don't see around here, and it's really cool. But we know each other inside and out, and she definitely gets me. I'm a very complex individual, and she gets me. We're definitely still BFFs.
If you could choose anyone in the world to be your co-host, not me.
Right.
I already have my own shit going on. Maybe in like a couple of years or so, we can talk about it after the show. Anyway, so if you could pick anyone to be your dream co-host, who would it be?
Reese Witherspoon, but she wouldn't talk. She would be naked and wearing high heels, and she would just be making dirty gestures at me the whole time. That's it. I have a thing for Reese Witherspoon, and I now
you like big foreheaded women.
Now I realize that my ex-wife resembles Reese. She has a Reese Witherspoon thing, yeah. But
Does she have a big forehead too?
No.
Like Reese? But Reese has that big forehead. Like, wait a minute, stop.
Okay.
Did you just ask, like, does she?
Yeah.
How do you know?
I think she's gorgeous. I don't know.
She's cute, but she's cute with a big forehead.
Okay, I'll have to look.
Look, she's got like 2 knot things right here. Look up Reese Witherspoon.
Siri, show me a picture of Reese Witherspoon.
From Man in the Moon, because you got to start when it's like knots. Like Hellboy got his horns cut off. Reese Witherspoon has those in the front. See it?
I mean,
that's a big forehead.
I guess. I mean, look at this thing, though. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, y'all got something in common.
Okay. Anyway, I told you. Remember, she was in the morning show on Apple TV, and there's this scene where she's just like drunk, and she's like, "Fuck it," and she brings a bartender back in the back of a bar, and he's looking her against the wall. Holy crap, man!
Reese Witherspoon did a scene like that?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's actually surprising. That
she does
Reese.
it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
But she can't talk, and I don't want to talk to her.
So a co-host that says
quiet.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So usually when we have a cute guy on the podcast, we get DMs like, "Is he single?" Okay. So are you single, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, and he likes women with big foreheads.
Oh, come on.
So he just proved that. He just said it.
Mm-mm.
So if you don't have a big forehead, don't DM me about Adam. Just because he likes the big forehead.
You know what?
Maybe when he's, shooting a shot, he wants, a lot of room to land on.
Damn, shooting a shot?
Yeah.
It's not like a gun. I don't fucking aim it and shit. Like,
you don't
like
really
a
have
cannon.
to aim that hard to get on Reese Witherspoon's forehead because it's so much space.
All right, we get it. She has a big forehead. We get it. Okay.
She does. She knows it too.
Yeah, no, single and don't even get me started on dating. I want to start a dating podcast because the stories. Holy shit! You got single friends, right?
All them bitches single.
Do you have what I do? I go to my friend's house and we hook up my iPhone to his TV and we cast it on his TV and we just go through and swipe and laugh at the profiles. I screenshot my favorites too. Like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Holy
I
crap.
feel sorry for single people because the shit that y'all have to go through, like my single friends will tell me things and I'm like, you have fucking got to be kidding me. I feel bad for them. That's why I just stay with producer James. It's not like I like them, love them, or that I'm attracted to them. It's just easier than being single.
Yo,
you know what I mean?
And when I was married, I remember saying,
I forgot. God, he's
right there.
I'm right here.
I was just so engaged in the conversation. My bad. We'll talk later.
When I was married, and I was married for 14 years, I remember saying when online dating started to, because when I met my wife, my ex-wife, the online dating was kind of there, but not really, not like it is now. And I remember saying years later, I'm like, oh my God, if I ever have to do that, I am going to shoot myself in the face. That was my direct quote. I'm going to shoot myself in the face. And here I am. But I like my face, so. Yeah.
So you're not going to do it?
No.
Oh, I thought you were about to do it right now on air. I would have been like, well, that'll make the ratings go up and give people something to talk about.
It's it's definitely, it's
bad.
It's shit. Look, and you know me, you have to kind of, I've become even like, especially since after the divorce, I've become even more like honest and like open with communication and stuff. I don't hold anything back.
Really? I would have never guessed that about you.
Yeah.
No.
And I remember last week, I think it was, I was messaging this this girl and she was really cute. And what I found interesting about her, I'm not on dating apps just to get my fuck on, okay? Because you can do that, but I'm actually looking for someone who, yeah, the sex is good, but also conversation's good, we get along.
Yeah.
And this one girl she was cute and she was a makeup artist and a handy woman. So she did makeup and had like power tools and shit.
That's pretty cool though.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But then
we were talking about, I was in the Heights doing like a basic white girl thing the other day, and it was like brunch, whatever.
You're gay.
No, it was, I know. my friend John, he was like, "Come on, we're gonna go to brunch," and he's not gay either. It's ridiculous.
So you went
but
with
we
a guy?
do, but we do gay things.
That's
Yeah.
y'all are almost a couple.
Yeah. But we were there in the Heights, and later on in the day, I was talking to this girl, and I said, "Yeah, what do you do today?" I think I went to brunch. I was in the Heights. She goes, "Oh, you're in my neighborhood," because she lived in the Heights. And I was like, "Yeah." And when I was there, I noticed there are all kinds of guys jogging, like, and they have no shirts on. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them are ripped, okay? Fucking ripped. But I noticed all had these short, like cheerleader shorts on. And I'm like, yeah, I noticed that there were a bunch of guys there jogging, but, they had like girl shorts on. They were really, and she said, "Girl shorts?" Question, like she had 2-3 question marks. I'm pretty sure they were just shorts. Now, at that point, I was at a pivotal point.
Hashtag woke.
I could do one of two things. I could neutralize the conversation, be like, "Yeah, you're right," whatever, and then move on. Or I could do what I did and said, "Well," I said, "I'm pretty sure I saw one of their testicles fall out. So I'm pretty sure those aren't meant for men." Right then, unmatch. She fucking unmatched me.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So, there's my dating story.
Oh man, I hope Reese Witherspoon doesn't wear girl shorts, because then all your dreams, they just will come crumbling down. All right, when we get back, I'm gonna be even nosier and start asking questions like about your kid, like what positions you like, and stuff like that. So we'll be right back.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
Welcome back. Adam Smasher is here. He does. Look at that. Turn to the side so the girls can see your nose. Look at that nose.
Yeah.
That is a strong nose.
I am not for everyone.
But I fortunately, I'm married, so it's all good. But James knows, if I see a white boy with a big ass nose, I'm like, ooh.
But he doesn't have a big nose.
No, I thought he had good credit, but he didn't. And I didn't find out that he didn't have good credit till after we're fucking married.
Yeah. And
I'm just like, God, I would pick the one white man that has bad credit. How does that? I fucked up. Anyway, how are your boys?
They're good. They're assholes, but they
most kids are.
They're entertaining. I wrote some notes here because I forget stuff.
You're old.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And I have ADD.
And he even has like the questions are in black and the answers are in red. He came prepared.
Yeah.
That makes me feel good.
My kids are 2 boys, and they're 13, and the youngest one will be 11 in July. Ooh. And I still get, I love it. I am so mad at myself because one thing I regret is I didn't have a notebook and write down every funny thing that they said from when they could talk. Because they do. The old Cosby thing is true. Kids say the darndest things. They're honest. They have no filter.
None.
And I wish I would have wrote everything down, because that would make a kick-ass book. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kids are fucking funny.
But I still get, I kind of, like, I want them to get older so I can go and fucking live my life. But also I have a, I miss when they were younger, but I still get questions like from my 13-year-old who.
That 13-year-old, that age group right there.
He came out of the bathroom, right? And he took a shower, and he came out of the bathroom, and he as soon as he opened the door, he goes, "Dad." I said, "Yeah, buddy." He said, "Why is it normal for one of your balls to hang lower than the other one?" Whatever. And I just looked at him. And I don't laugh because I try not to make him feel bad. I go, "Yeah, but it's perfectly normal. Perfectly normal." It's just,
you handled that correctly.
Sometimes you never know.
Now here's the difference between moms and dads.
Right.
So let's say I'm his mom. He came out and he asked me the same question. As a mom, we just go right in there. It's like, put him here.
What?
And cough.
Oh,
that is how moms are, because we're paranoid all the time.
That's how you do it. I'm
like, what's wrong with your balls? James, there's something wrong with his fucking balls. Is that from your side of the family or mine? Because my balls are the same size.
Listen, sometimes your balls are like, and then sometimes they get loose and they hang,
Oh, okay.
You never know.
They're always uneven.
Yeah.
Like that's just natural.
Have you had the sex talk with him yet?
Yeah. Well, the oldest one, yes, because my mom never had the sex talk with me because she was old school and you just didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, you know, they hear shit from their friends.
Yep.
And I told my mom, I'm like, you let me learn about sex from my dirtball friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what I wanted to let him know is like, look, he said, well, I know what sex is. And this is probably when he was 11. And I said, oh, yeah? I said, okay, let's go in the other room. And because my ex-wife, she was like, you handle that. I don't want to handle it.
Yeah.
And so we got in the room. I go, okay, well, tell me what it is. And he said, it's like when the boy rubs his penis against the girl's vagina. And I said, you're close.
That's called foreplay, baby. Yeah, but you're in the right area.
I said, it's actually when the boy's penis goes in and out and in and out, in and out. And I did the hand motions as well. And that's what he said. He goes, ew. And that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He was done. But I just wanted to make sure he knew so he wouldn't be that kid who thought, you know, sex was something stupid and people would make fun of him, you know?
Right. I tell you this because I have an 18-year-old girl.
She's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
I was about to slap the shit out of her the other day. Slap all that beauty out. I have a very open, honest relationship with her about everything.
Good.
But then sometimes you're like, maybe we need to cut it, have boundaries. So, you know, she's 18. She's got a boyfriend.
How old is he?
He just turned 21.
Oh, no.
He's in a rock band.
He just turned 21.
What does he do? Anything?
He's a student.
Okay. At where?
Alvin Community
Okay.
College.
Well, he's in school. That's
He's
important.
in school.
Okay, good.
So, you know, she started really talking to me about sex.
Yeah.
And I answered everything. And then she came back, she goes, well, what about, and I'm like, that's too much. Like, let's start small, and work our way up to anal.
Wait, what'd she ask? Just so I'm part of this? What?
Wow.
It's you want them to come to you about any and everything, but there's sometimes I'm like, I can't. It's too much.
See,
it's just too much.
I'm completely fine with it.
And I answer her, but then when she leaves the room, I'm crying. I'm like, this I can't. Why? Give me a drink. Somebody help me. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm glad she comes to me. But fuck, like I would never ask my mom some of the stuff that she asked me.
But it's good that she's comfortable enough to ask you.
She's real fucking comfortable.
And again, if you just be, we've never lied to our kids. They've never called, you know, like even like body parts. And we never said, you know, pee and we and all that shit. No. Yeah. You have a penis. Yeah. This is a vagina.
Yeah. Oh, y'all are nice because I just call it dick and pussy.
Oh, okay.
To her, I'm like, oh, that's his dick. You know, you got a pussy.
Well, they were like 6 at the time.
She was too.
Well, you know, yeah, but we, you know, because if you shelter kids, you know, I mean,
it's a cruel world.
And especially now, you know what my biggest fear is?
What?
My biggest fear is they're going to learn about, you know, because like not just sex, like how is it done, but like other things. And I'm worried that they're going to learn shit from porn, online porn, which is available to everyone for free. And look, I like porn, don't get me wrong. But there's some weird shit out there, like really weird shit.
There is,
and it's scary.
It's very weird, and then the shit's not true. You know what I mean?
No,
it's not true. No. That's not how it didn't feel that good. It wasn't really that big. It was porn is a lie, but I still quite enjoy it. I really do. So, do you think it's harder being a radio personality or being a parent?
I would say, like, at different ages, I would give you different answers. So, like, when they're really young, it's harder because you have to follow them around everywhere. You have to make sure they don't kill themselves because they're dumb. You know, shitting on themselves, and it's just you get no sleep. But now, again, my kids are 13 and almost 11. All I have to do is like throw them some food and some money every now and then, and they just basically raise themselves. You know?
Yeah.
There's, like I went in the kitchen.
Get them Cash App, and they've got a little cash.
I went in the kitchen the other day for breakfast when I woke up, and Ryder was already in the kitchen. He's a 13-year-old. I go, "What are you doing, man?" He goes, I'm making an omelet. You're making an omelet.
Fuck?
I don't even make omelets.
Well, I mean, when I got here, Skylar FaceTimed me and said, "Why did you leave? I need you to help me put this pizza in the oven." She's fucking 18, and your kid's making omelets. You did good.
And he was like, even like cutting up an avocado. I'm like, who are you?
He garnishes.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
It's crazy.
Do you
crazy.
think you want a part-time job and come cook at my house? Because I don't like to cook at all.
I don't like to cook either.
I fucking hate being in the kitchen.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
I
like,
like
why
to
you in
eat.
there? Make me an omelet.
No kidding. Like, how are you gonna make yourself an omelet and not your mama? Like, that's just wrong.
I would say that, but you know, it's harder when they're young. But when they're
hit 16.
I think it's different for girls than boys. You know,
You're probably right.
I would never want a
It's
girl.
hard. It's just hard because one day they're your little girl, then one day you look at them, they got titties and shit, and you're like, and then Skylar's like me.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So she's shit talking, she's quick-witted, and I mean,
you know, it's funny. It's funny because my kids are like Ryder, the oldest, is just like me.
Mm-hmm.
He looks just like me. He acts just like me.
He looks just like you.
But my youngest, Cooper, I always question if he was even fucking mine. Okay, because he came out, he had, you know, he cuts his hair short now, but back, you know, he had like a curly like afro, like a Jufro. And he was the cutest, and all he does, he talks nonstop. I mean, this kid.
Well, he got that from you.
No, but when I'm working, yes, but at home, no.
Yeah.
This kid will just, his whole day is like a run-on sentence. There's never any punctuation. It's just from one thing to the other.
What grade is he in? 5th or 6th?
He's in 5th.
That's all 5th graders are. I used to work with 5th and 6th graders. It's just, and then like, they say like 500 times. I mean, one day Skylar was talking to me, and I just screamed, "I'm gonna lose my fucking mind if you say like one more time." It's just like. It's just, yeah, I get it.
But he's, you know, he's even like. Ryder is like me. He's very neat and clean, and I don't have to tell him to go. He's like, "Dad, I'm gonna go take a shower," and I'm like, "Buddy, you don't have to tell me to go. Just go take a shower. It's fine."
Right.
But Cooper, you have to fucking make his filthy ass take a bath, and then he'll come to you and goes, "My butthole itches," and I'm like, "What's because you haven't bathed in 5 days?"
You just told me to get in the shower. You didn't say I had to bathe and get in between the cheeks and all that kind of shit.
And I always tell him, and he's old enough to laugh about it now. We laugh about it, but. It's serious. It's true. I remember I told him for the first time. I go, "Buddy," because he was giving Katie, my ex, like shit, and he gives her shit that he doesn't give me shit.
Of course,
because I don't play. I'm like, I'll.
Yeah. We're old school. We still beat kids and shit.
But he thinks he can get away with more with Katie, and I told him one time. I go, "Buddy," I go, "you better be nice to your mom." I said, because if it wasn't for your mom, you wouldn't even be alive. Because I would have stopped at 1. And my oldest, he's right next to me, and he gets this evil smile on his face.
I'm the
just
golden
like his
child.
Dad. Yeah. But I wanted to stop at 1, you know?
I like how y'all gave y'all's kids some real white names.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryder, Cooper.
Yeah.
If you would have had one more. Jake,
I don't know.
Jackson, Reese. That's a unisex name.
Reese.
You know, and just like that's a stereotypical white name, I get on my dating, you know, the dating apps, you know, if there is a, and hold on, I got a screenshot. I want you to look at this woman and how she spells her name.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
Was it Riley with 3 Z's?
No.
Worse?
I had never seen this before, and I was dying laughing. In fact, I think I thought of you when it looked.
What is it? Erica.
But how do you spell it?
I know, I've seen that before, and I was like,
A-E-R,
yes.
Erica.
And here's the thing, I saw that say, well, motherfucker, I've been spelling Erica wrong all these years. I thought it was E-R-I-K-A.
I don't know how to spell that one.
Udrika.
I mean, how to say that?
Andrika.
Andrika?
Yeah. Give me another one. That's it. You know, she had gold teeth in her mouth, too. She wasn't just black, she was fucking hood.
You can't even
Let me see. Carry the 2, subtract the 5. Nikitria.
Okay.
You
You got it.
But don't date none of them. Like those
No?
are unmatches.
Okay.
I do like that we're getting kind of a preview into Adam's preferences.
Right.
I'm gonna help you find a woman.
Well, I mean, and I don't really have. I've run the gamut when it comes to dating, as far as like different, body types, different, I don't have just, check white women only on my thing. I don't have a check. Like, I'm open to anything. Mm-hmm. It's more about the person as an individual.
But what site were they on? They were hood looking at. Was it hoodsorus.com?
Yeah, I think so.
That's because it looked like that one girl had gold teeth.
She did.
You don't want her because she'll fight and cut and all kinds. The sex will be good.
Okay.
But and y'all gonna have fried chicken for dinner every night. So,
hey, you said it. I didn't.
How, in your honest opinion, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, how do you feel about podcasts?
I have a love-hate relationship with podcasts because, again, there are a lot of podcasts that are really good, but they're also I've been a big fan of yours since the beginning. Because you're a very bold personality. You're funny, and
did James pay you to say that? Tell how much?
No, honestly,
he didn't.
No.
Aww.
But also there's so much just garbage.
There's a lot of garbage
and garbage that gets attention. I remember when we're launching this new podcast, and we were researching and looking at other podcasts, and that made there's a list that you can make on, I think it's Apple. It's like new and upcoming or something. And it's really cool because it gets your name out there, right? And our first goal is to make that list.
Right.
And we knew a guy who made that list, and he does a podcast, and it's bad. It's not fucking good at all. And I'm just like, how does this, get like top 20 podcasts in the country or whatever? How? Yeah. How?
It's anybody, always tell people, anybody can have a podcast. All you need is like an iPhone.
Yeah.
And you can just record your voice and call it a podcast.
Yeah.
We take ours pretty seriously.
You guys do. Look, you have like studio, like lights, and what are those things called? I don't know, the big umbrellas and shit. Yeah.
I was listening to this girl who used to be on The Real World, and she has a new podcast.
What's her name?
Arissa.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, let me check this out. Literally, I texted James and said, this is fucking horrible. The production on this shit is whack. Like, I couldn't even listen to it. There was like an echo. It sounded like someone was in their bathroom recording the podcast.
Yeah.
And then they had a guest call in, and you couldn't even hear the guest. I was like, I wouldn't even put this out there for anyone to listen to.
That's why it's hard for me, because I've always been about like quality and making things sound the best I can.
Right.
And the fact that I do that, and it's hard to make traction, but these people will pump out garbage and get the recognition for it, and the success, and it's really hard for me to deal with it sometimes.
I can't even imagine coming from your background and then going into podcasts and seeing all the some of them, it's like they Wikipedia the story like a murder, and they just read it straight from the page and call it a podcast. I'm like, that's storytelling. Like, that's not a podcast. You be trying to look at it from the perspective of like a radio show or a talk show, a little bit like that. We want to put good stuff out, but everybody's not like that. So
it's really it stopped becoming about quality or how talented you are or whatever. It's really just about. I mean, I would love to know how these people make, because people are like, oh, you should do a podcast. And like, you can't make any money doing a podcast starting out. You got to work at that shit. You have to have a full-time job to support the podcast.
Yeah. Like, someone asked me one, they're like, so James's job is your producer. I'm like, bitch, we would be homeless if that were the case. I'm like, no, we both still work. This is something we do once a week.
This is a side hustle that hopefully one day will turn into a moneymaker. And that's the way to do it.
Right.
Dude, consistency. That's my biggest advice to you is, and you guys have been consistent.
That's
consistency.
Because of you.
That is it.
Yeah.
It's just like when I was doing stand-up. Like, as soon as someone said, hey, I think you're funny, you should be a comic. And
ain't that easy.
Not.
Yeah.
And saturated with crap. No, there's not enough talent to substantiate the number of people who are trying to do it.
Right.
And then people that do have talent just get kind of covered over by the amount of shit they have to dig through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're living in the age of the Kardashians, where you can let Ray J fuck you, and you record it, and you become a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And you don't have to have any talent, and it sucks. So I think we kind of touched on this a little bit too. Like with social media, there's so many platforms. You can get on there, you can post something 500 times, and one time you post something just stupid enough for it to fucking go viral, and now you're doing Fashion Nova, and you're doing the flat tummy shit and all of that, and it's just like, really? For some dumb shit,
My kids watch the dumbest shit on YouTube, and I'm talking, it is pure garbage. Like this one, there are a couple channels, of course, there are the ones where they play the video games and
right.
whatever. But they're also, my 10-year-old was watching something the other day, and I have to tell them to, like, put on your headphones, not because I'm trying to, it's because it's fucking annoying.
Right, right.
If it were funny, I'd be listening to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, this one guy he's doing the thing where he's commenting on a video that was already done, so the video is in the top corner,
screen.
and he's making comments, but they're not funny. And they have millions of subscribers, and I'm like, oh, this is garbage.
It's annoying. I know a few months back, there's these two black brothers that they're literally in their bedroom. Beds ain't made and shit, because they don't care how anything looks. And what they do is they capture their reaction to shit.
Yeah.
So they got really famous because these little ghetto kids with their ghetto ass families never heard of Phil Collins. Okay, so they listened to In the Air Tonight for the first time, and they're going crazy. They're like, oh, this is deep. Yeah, it's low. I like this. Okay, and then when it goes they lose their fucking minds, and the video goes viral.
That's stupid.
Now they're doing ads for Church's Chicken, Popeyes, Frenchie's Chicken.
We don't want to stereotype them as young black men.
I'm just like, I could have done that shit too, but it would be funny if I fucking did.
But here's the thing: if your channel is all about your reaction, why the fuck would we assume that it's an organic reaction every time?
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't know. That right there pisses me off. So do you have advice for anyone who wants to actually get into radio?
Don't.
Y'all heard him earlier today. It doesn't pay well.
Listen.
What I mean, but the days of Howard Stern, Opie and Anthony, Bob and Tom. Are those gone now? Really?
No, I mean they're still doing stuff, but it's definitely changed. All these digital platforms have changed. The only reason, and I'll have people who are still in radio. I have to limit what I don't get on social media anymore, hardly. I'm on Instagram only for funny dog videos. That's it. Because I can't take it, because they're like, radio is so blah blah blah, and it's still the only reason, and they would not like me for saying this, but the only reason radio is still around and it gets as many listeners as it does is because it's free and it's in your car when you buy it. That's it. If the internet was free when you got a car, people wouldn't be fucking listening to radio anymore.
It's true. It's very true.
Why listen, and especially music radio, why listen to something that plays literally 20 commercials an hour when you can listen to something that has no commercials?
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
It's not like how it used to be when it's like every morning when I'm driving to work, I know. Right. Maria is going to be on there. You would be on there, or 97.9, the Mad Hatter. You got to know.
It was personality.
Yes, the personalities. Now I couldn't tell you because I listen to internet radio.
No one's allowed to have a personality anymore. I mean,
no.
A lot of another big problem is, it used to be great when they had small companies owning some radio stations, and you could work there and retire there, and they were great but these bigger companies, iHeart or Cumulus, and they come in and they literally own hundreds of radio stations nationwide, and all they care about, no matter what they say, is money. Yeah. And they have I think they call it, it's not like Black Friday, but it's something, and it happens twice a year, iHeart, where they can, hundreds of people nationwide, and it happens every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every year. So it doesn't matter, talent doesn't matter. Well, you're talented. It does not matter.
Yeah.
And that's true in the entertainment industry as a whole. And think about it. I was thinking about this analogy. The other day, and some parents might not like this, but I introduced my 13-year-old to NWA and Eazy-E, okay? Proving that you don't need talent to really do well. Look, Eazy-E was a shitty rapper, okay?
And, yeah.
There's a reason his rhymes are, okay, I wrote down this one. It said, okay, no, listen to this. This is a fucking rhyme, okay? Where is it?
Exactly.
So it's Boys in the Hood. It's they shot the bitch but didn't hurt her, both upstate for attempted murder. That is a shitty rhyme, okay? Ice Cube and Dr. Dre were NWA. They're talented.
Oh God, yeah. Yes.
But Eazy had an awesome career because he had marketing and he had money behind him.
And he had a Jerry curl.
Right.
And it's just like, he's got a fucking Jerry curl. Let me listen to what he's got to say. You know what I mean? Didn't he die of AIDS?
Yeah. I have a pair of socks. The left one says Easy and the right one says Does It. Yeah. True story.
And now it's funny because our kids now know about Eazy-E because of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
Because she did Girls in the Hood.
Right.
And then there was this big beef between Eazy-E's two daughters.
Right.
And now you go to Target and they've got Eazy-E on a fucking t-shirt. And,
right.
It's those people had to really hustle. Like Ice Cube, they hustled. You know what I mean? It's like my daughter, I think she only knows Ice Cube from like, Are We There Yet movies and shit like that. Like, they used to rap.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That Ice Cube, who was the lyrical master of NWA, Dre did the beats, Ice Cube did the lyrics, and how they went from, fuck the police and whatever to Are We There Yet? But you know what? He earned that shit.
I'm like, make your money. I'm not mad at you or anything. Make that money. So it's just like, it's weird, but we have to educate our kids like, no, honey. This person had a whole career before any of that started. So let our audience know all about your new podcast, how they can listen to it, what it's about, all that good stuff.
Okay, so I got a call from Shonda, who was my former radio partner, and she works for this company now, and they had a podcast. It's like a health and wellness company, and they had a podcast, and it was kind of dry and stale, and they hired her, and they said, all right, one of the things we want you to do is we want you to take the podcast and run with it because you have a background in radio. So that's when she brought me on, and it's under the self-help category, but it's like, I asked her, how would you describe it? It's called Intentionally Disruptive.
Okay.
That's the name of the podcast. And it's like people helping people. It's not, we're not doctors or psychiatrists or whatever. It's people that we have on, whether it be us or whether it be a guest, that through their story, they can help. We did an episode on life after divorce. January was about starting over, so we did an episode of starting a new career at 40, which we had to do, life after divorce. And sometimes when you hear people going through the same shit you're going through, it helps. Yeah. So that's her whole motive behind the podcast. So it's just really this month I think it's unconventional love stories, and she has been married to her husband for 17 years, and they have been through some shit, some ghetto country shit, okay?
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, they're from Ohio, and they've been through the ringer, and it's just nice to hear their story, and because marriage is tough. I don't have to tell you. Look,
it's hard.
James is shaking his head. Yeah.
James, you were shaking your head. What thing did he say that made you just want to agree with what he was saying so much? I'm eager to know.
It was something like half an hour ago. I just remembered.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
But it's helpful to hear this couple and their story, and how it's not, life isn't, especially relationships, it's not a fairy tale.
No.
It's
It's
tough.
hard.
It's hard
Very
as
hard.
shit.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a kind of a self-help kind of podcast, but we're having some fun with it, and we literally I think we just aired our 5th episode. So
are y'all on iTunes? How can people listen to it?
everything,
Okay. Everything?
iTunes, whatever you listen on, we're
Okay.
on. But it's cool because I get to, sometimes I'm on as a guest host, sometimes I'm not. It just depends. But she hired me to produce it.
Okay.
Because my thing is making things sound good, and I have to edit, and people don't realize
the editing part is so important.
You can totally change the flow of a podcast and make it and go in a different direction than it was intentionally done. So anyway, it's called Intentionally Disruptive, and we're on Instagram and Facebook, and so hopefully it'll stick.
And if you guys, hopefully you listen to the Libra Lounge weekly, I would hope y'all recognize his voice, because he does our bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our Bitch Please,
Oh.
That's all Adam right
Bitch
there.
Please!
Yes,
And
he
the
did
Gab.
all of that.
Bitch
The
Please and the
graphics
Gab.
with, did you do it? Yeah, anyway, that's Adam's voice every time y'all listen to it.
I love doing stuff like that.
And you do it fast.
In fact, one of my favorite things to do, and I don't get to do it very often anymore, is like parody songs. And people say what they want about parody songs, but like, for example, Shonda had a hysterectomy at like 31 years old.
Oh, shit.
So I rewrote James Blunt, "You're Beautiful," to "Your Uterus." And your uterus is through.
Damn.
But it's fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah.
And that's I'm trying to figure out a way I can make money still at doing that. But
and then put some of that shit on a T-shirt and sell it.
I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm back in school.
Really?
I'm thinking about going back and get my psychology degree.
That'd be pretty awesome, though.
Yeah,
we believe in you. You can do it.
It's tough. If you take anything from this podcast, I always tell people, and I tell my kids this too, have a backup plan.
Always.
Whatever you do, no matter what career you get into, have a backup plan, because I hit 42 and I was fucked.
I always tell people when, like, I hear about someone who's like 23 and they're getting married, like, why would you do that? Like, you're going to change so much from 23 to 33, and then 33 to 43. I mean, I'm 41 now, and James is 41, and there's shit that we hear like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's just like, you still are learning, and I feel like a kind of an adult, but not like a real adult, but we are. I get it, and in our 40s, we're trying to do this, and do a media company and own a boutique and still pay bills and raise fucking snot-nosed kids and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's tough.
They're so ungrateful.
I mean,
too.
they really are.
Ugh.
I mean, it's like you carry them.
You give them something, and they're like, "Wow, what? I want more."
Yes.
Ugh.
And everyone who listens to the Libra Lounge, they know how Skylar can be a bitch, and she fucking tells on me. She tells on me to James, and she'll go tell my mom. And so I have to whisper, "You fucking bitch." You know what I mean? And I have to make sure my mom's not coming down the stairs. But she tells on me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I care. She almost died.
Ungrateful.
I almost died laboring you, which is a lie. But I mean, that's what I've told her all her life. I almost died.
Oh, I told my kids on Mother's Day, the day before Mother's Day, I was talking to my kids, and I go, "Hey, don't forget." It was the night before, and they were about to go to bed. I said, "Don't forget to tell your mom Happy Mother's Day right when you wake up."
Right.
I said, "She pushed you out of her vagina, and that is tough." And of course, my kids they laugh. "Okay, Dad," but it's true.
It is true.
It's
tough. hard.
That's traumatizing.
It is, and I didn't even push my baby out. I just said, "Can y'all cut me?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Adam, I have to admit that this is like,
it was what it was, you know.
I'm just so excited. I was so nervous, and this is great. And I really appreciate you coming to be on the show because you helped me out a lot at that other place we used to be at.
Yeah, right.
When they kicked me off and all that kind of shit. But you taught me a lot of stuff, and I was telling James, I'm like, oh my God. I know he said that before, like a break, you're not supposed to say it's a break, and I'm sure I break that rule
It doesn't matter.
I'm just like,
podcasting it's very loose. You know, you can do what you feel is right. You know.
Yeah, y'all know I'm stupid half the time, but this was great. I loved having you here. I want you guys to make sure to check out the podcast, Intentionally Dysfunctional.
Disruptive.
Oh God,
yeah.
Damn, I had that.
We are dysfunctional.
Yeah.
Very dysfunctional.
Producer James will put it on there whenever the video goes out.
You can also, I think I still have Instagram and Facebook. Well, I know I do, but if you just search Atom Smasher, ATOM, I'll pop up somewhere.
Yes, and this right here, this is legendary right here. Y'all just don't know.
Well, you guys are doing a good job, so I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we'll be right back with the Bitch Please of the Week from the Libra Lounge.
The Libra Lounge with Keisha. The Libra Lounge with Keisha.
I would like to thank all of you for tuning in to this episode of the Libra Lounge with Keisha. And as always, it is time for the Bitch Please of the Week from the Libra Lounge.
Bitch Please! You be rolling down the street, telling stories. Bitch, you never tell the truth. Bitch Please! Everybody know you lying, bitch, cause all you do is lie.
You know what? It's just, society just won't let us have nothing. I mean, when I saw this, I had to really go back and read it a few times to believe it. I thought it was a prank. What's that website that they just make up stories and it's fake news? What is it called? Smackers or Snickers?
Snickers?
I don't know what it's called. It's page 6. It's some kind of place where they make up articles that are totally not true, but they write it so greatly.
Oh, like The Onion?
Yes, it's The Onion.
So wait, it was either Smackers or Smickers or The Onion?
They all sound alike.
Okay, just checking.
Yes, but unfortunately, this news is very true. Popeyes and their executive board or chicken lovers, or I don't know how you become a top dog at Popeyes, but they have decided to discontinue their Cajun rice. I know. Shocking. I mean, for some of us, that's as close to New Orleans that we'll ever get is that Cajun rice. Most of us can remember I can remember when you only had the option of coleslaw or Cajun rice when you went to Popeyes. Those were the only sides. Now, I'll admit, sometimes it was extra salty. Many times it was extra dry. But it's just like when your grandmother makes something that's fucked up, you still eat it because it is sentimental to you. You know, I can think of so many other things that Popeyes could have changed. For example, I've never once gone to Popeyes and ordered the Cajun rice, and they told me, oh, that'll be an extra 7 minutes like they do for all their fucking pies. How about you throw a stick of butter inside those dry-ass biscuits that nobody can talk for like 30 minutes after they eat one? Why did you have to go straight to the Cajun rice? What? James, find that black woman that's on that commercial that say that she's the person who comes up with all the recipes for all the Popeye stuff. We need to talk to her. Add some giblet gravy to it. Make it moist, flavorful. But you just don't get rid of it. You don't just, have 5 kids, and get rid of the fucked up one.
Well, some do.
Some do, but we're not like that. We're willing to work with our kids or Cajun rice to make it better. You don't just say, we're just going to discontinue it. I don't know. I just feel some type of way. And I really feel some type of way that the shit happened right before Black History Month. That's how I know this was planned. This is corruption. This is the government doing this.
You can't blame Trump.
He did this, didn't he? Can he make, is it just, Joe, can you pardon this? Can you free the Cajun rice, Joe? Please, so we can have it back? Now, don't get me wrong. It has been many moons since I have ordered the Cajun rice. Because it was dry. But being able to look at that board and see something familiar, that's a lot. Especially to Black people. Y'all just won't let us have nothing. So Popeyes, this I know y'all owned by white people. This is why you get the, what is it? The bitch please?
Bitch please.
From the Libra Lounge. Look that up. It's really white people that own Popeyes. I bet you anything. Because they would, no Black person would do this right before Black History Month. There's no way, no how. Join us next week for an all-new episode of the Libra Lounge with Keisha, where we will be taking questions from all you losers who are still not booed up in time for Valentine's Day. Have a great week.
It's the Libra Lounge. The Libra Lounge. Ooh.